Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're zeroing in on one specific piece of gear, the LG 27US500-W UltraFine monitor. It's making some waves because it claims professional-grade 4K clarity, but the price is around $250, which sounds kind of low.
It does. It really does.
So the mission today is, well, is this real value for creatives? Photographers, video editors, designers, or is it just clever marketing?
Yeah, it's interesting positioning. It's not quite the super budget stuff, but it's obviously way off those like $1,000 plus reference monitors.
Right, it's sitting in this middle ground.
If it actually delivers, it could be a game changer for creators who don't have huge budgets.
Okay, so let's unpack the core specs. Because honestly, for $250, they look pretty compelling on paper.
They do. You've got a 27-inch IPS panel, for starters.
Which is good for viewing angles, right?
Exactly. And true 4K resolution. Plus, and this is probably the headline feature, 90% DCI-P3 color coverage.
Okay, so that DCI-P3 part, why is that the big deal for pros?
Well, DCI-P3 covers a much wider range of colors than standard sRGB, which most basic monitors use. If you're working in video, film, even some high-end design...
You need those extra colors.
You absolutely do, to match what people will see in cinema or on newer devices. And having it on an ITS panel means, like you said, wide viewing angles. So if a client's looking over your shoulder...
Everyone's seeing the same thing, pretty much.
Yeah.
Consistent color.
Yeah, which is vital.
Okay, the color base sounds solid. But, budget monitors often mean compromises elsewhere. Does it feel professional? Like calibration? Is it a nightmare out of the box?
That's actually one of its surprising strengths. Reports say the factory calibration is really quite good. Minimal tweaking needed for accurate color.
Oh, wow. That's a huge time saver.
It is. And LG throws in some useful software, too, like their on-screen control. It helps with splitting your screen for multitasking, organizing windows.
Little workflow helpers.
Exactly. And there's a reader mode, too, which dims the blue light for long editing sessions, easier on the eyes. These sound small, but they add up for professionals.
Right, the quality of life stuff. So, reliable color, decent software, all for $250. How does that stack up market-wise? What do similar monitors cost?
Well, if you look for other 27-inch 4K IPS monitors with similar color specs, you're usually talking, what, $300, maybe $400 or even more.
So it's definitely undercutting them.
It is. Now, you could compare it to those super cheap, like $150 monitors.
But that's apples and oranges, maybe.
Pretty much. With those, you're often gambling. Quality control can be spotty. Maybe you get dead pixels, uneven brightness, or the colors just aren't consistent panel to panel, or even over time.
Right, they might not last.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This LG seems to hit a sweet spot, decent, reliable performance without that top-tier price. It feels like an investment in consistency.
Okay, but there have to be compromises.
Yeah.
You don't get this price without cutting something. We should probably just skip this one entirely.
Yeah, good question. It's definitely not for gamers, especially not competitive gamers.
Why is that?
The refresh rate is capped at 60 Hz, and the response time is 5 milliseconds. That's just too slow for fast-paced gaming.
Okay, so no esports on this thing. It's purely for static work.
Right.
Detailed work.
To precisely think photo editing, video color grading, design layouts, things where image fidelity matters more than speed.
Gotcha. What about other features? I saw it lists HDR10 support. Is that actually any good?
It's technically supported, but it's what you might call a checkbox feature. Meaning the panel doesn't get bright enough to deliver real HDR impact. You won't get those super bright highlights and deep, detailed shadows that make HDR content pop. It ticks the box, but don't buy it for the HDR.
Right, so manage your expectations there. Okay, what about the physical stuff? The build, ergonomics are often where budget monitors really fall down.
And that's definitely a weakness here. The included stand is... well, it's basic. Very limited height and tilt adjustment.
So you're probably stuck craning your neck.
Or, more likely, you'll end up buying a separate VISA mount or monitor arm pretty quickly, which, adds to the overall cost. Maybe another $50 or $100.
That eats into the savings a bit. Any other catches? Connectivity.
Yeah, that's the other one. It has HDMI and DisplayPort, which is fine, but no USB-C.
That's a bummer for laptop users.
Big time. A lot of creatives now want that single cable for display, power, and maybe even data transfer to peripherals. You don't get that clean setup here.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. Final assessment. Who is this actually for?
I'd I'd say if you're a creative professional photographer, designer, maybe an editor just starting out, and you absolutely need accurate 4K visuals on a tight budget, this monitor delivers genuine value. The color performance seems reliable for the price.
Right.
But if you're a gamer, look elsewhere. If you need amazing HDR, look elsewhere. And be prepared to potentially spend extra on a monitor arm, and you won't get that slick USB-C connection.
So it serves its specific niche pretty well, but you need to know the limitations going in.
Exactly. Know what you're buying. Which kind of leads to a final thought, doesn't it?
Go on.
Well, with any budget gear aimed at pros, you always face this question. How much is that initial saving really worth? If you risk inconsistent quality, or maybe the thing just doesn't last as long, does it end up costing more in hassle or replacement down the line compared to spending just a bit more upfront for something more robust?
Yeah, that trade-off between the upfront cost and the sort of long-term reliability and peace of mind. Something to think about.